Hi everyone, welcome back to Fresh Perspective, where we'll take another look at life. What I want to do in this episode is just build on the episode called How to Get Unstuck When You Lose Momentum. If you haven't listened to that yet or watched that, it's a video. You can go do that. But I want to build on that by focusing on goal setting. So there's three kind of goals: long-term goals, things that maybe 5 years away; short-term goals, so things that take a month or so to accomplish, or maybe even a year; and then habits and rituals, things you do daily and sometimes 3 or 4 times per week that help you get to that level. So if the long-term goal is to have your own business, the short-term goal will be which skills do I need to be able to have that business? What do I need to set up? What do I need to build? And the habits will be, the routines will be doing the work that gets you there, building the website, getting the skill, learning, sitting down, training yourself to develop those specific skills. And when setting these goals, the language you use is crucial. The way you state your goals is very important. You don't want to state it in a way that's like a wish. I want to, or one day I will, or whatever. You want to state it in positive language. You also don't want to state it in like, for example, in 5 years' time, I don't want to be working for another person, or I don't still want to be working for this company, or something like that. That's a negative statement, and it's a want. It's like a wish. But if you say, in 5 years' time, I own my own business, that's completely different. You can feel the difference in that. It's a statement, and it gives you a clear direction towards which you want to aim. Not wanting to work for someone else, that's moving away from something, but where will you go? Otherwise, you end up in limbo, somewhere in between. Okay, so the language you use when you put your goals down on paper is crucial. If you haven't written your goals down, that's a major, major problem, because writing your goals down solidifies them in a whole different way. Instead of becoming these wishes that float around in your head and heart, it's something on paper that you can revisit. And I revisit my goals often. And when I get stuck, I know it's often because I don't have clarity. And that clarity often comes from not really writing my goals down or revisiting the written goals. So sometimes I'd write down my goals for a specific area in my life every day in short little statements. So I'll open up my journal here. At the moment, I have 4 things that I focus on. That's kind of like the habits and rituals I was talking about. That encompasses what the kind of person I want to be. One is play with my kids, spend quality time with my kids. 2, hold my wife, hold her tight, hug her, letting her know that I care about her and really connecting with her. It's simple, it's practical, it's something that I can do and I can measure. That's a habit. Just looking at those 2, the long-term effect of that will be massive. So playing with my kids, spending that quality time, I'll have a deep connected relationship with them in 5 years' time. All right, number 3 is invest in myself, meaning make sure I get input. I put knowledge and inspiration into my mind that helps me move forward. I'm willing to spend effort, energy, time, and money to improve and develop myself as a person. And number 4 is give generously to the world. And number 4 is one that specifically that I feel I've neglected. So I have a practice where I see clients and I give in that way, but podcasting is a way for me to try and address that. What I hope that it improves as I go along. And that's what I'm working on. The goal for me in 5 years' time in terms of this podcast is to have a massive amount of online courses and seminars that come from really learning how to share the knowledge I have with others via online platforms, not just one-on-one in coaching, but other mediums as well. So just saying that, I realized that I have to write down more specific goals for that 5-year plan. So already I'm learning as I go. Okay. So you also want to be, when you write down your goals, you have to write down your goals. When you write them down, you want to put yourself in a certain state. So if you've never done it before, especially, just quickly take the 5 minutes and listen to one of your favorite upbeat, psych up anthemy songs that puts you in that energetic state. Because you want to be creative and you want to go big, you want to dream big, especially with the long-term goals. The long-term goals don't have to be realistic. It's not important that they are realistic. It's just something that you wish and dream for in the future, but you're making it concrete by writing it down exactly what it is. You don't know how you're going to get there yet. You don't know if it's going to happen. But when you move that, if you take the steps back to today, you can be clear on what you can do today. What kind of things will help you get there? So, like I mentioned, and mine is, if I want a deep connected relationship with my kids, that means I have to play with them every day. I have to spend that time with them every day. It's as simple as that. I can't just hope that I'll have that relationship and do nothing about it. I have to put that time and effort in. Right. So here's another way for you to actually think about, what is it? What are my goals? Maybe you have no image of the future or something that you really want. And here are some ways that you can try to do that. You can ask yourself, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to experience? What is it that I want to have? What is it that I want to be able to give? Who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? What are the opportunities I want to be able to create? These questions should help you clarify your goals. So you can go back and listen to that bit again and think about what exactly you can pen down right now. Mostly it'll be in 3 areas, your goals. It'll be about your health. So this includes the mind and your emotions. So mostly when we hear health, we think about exercise and fitness and diet, things like that. But this includes the mind and the emotions. So understanding how you control and determine your own emotions, your own emotional state, that's important. Understanding how you can develop your mind and broaden your paradigm, that's important. So that's health. The second one is wealth, your financial well-being, but also the things that go with that. Time. Do you feel like you have a wealth of time? Most people don't. So how can you create that time? Often it's either about downgrading your lifestyle and being more responsible with the money you do have, or it's about making more money and sustaining your lifestyle, and in that, getting more time. Wealth is a part of it. Health, wealth, and then lastly, relationships. Obviously, very, very important. Your goals will also include relationships. And you should be able to touch on all three of these examples. All three of these should be somewhere within your goals. Okay. You also, once you've written your goals down, now you can start looking at them. Just brainstorm, just write down. Maybe you write down 15 or 20 goals. Write them down and then assign time to them. Meaning then you can write down, this goal is like a 5-year goal. This is a 1-year goal, something like that. And also use the SMART method to help you really clarify those goals. If you haven't heard of the SMART method, it's an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. So specific, you should know exactly what you're trying to achieve. So if it's a fitness goal, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to be able to run a marathon? It should be measurable, so you know when you've achieved it. So that is both specific and measurable. It's not running a race, it's running 42 kilometers. It should be action oriented, so you can do something about it. You can take action. Start running, start training. Realistic, so is this achievable? And time bound, it has a deadline. So having a marathon somewhere in the future that you want to be able to finish, compete in and finish, that's a great goal. So now you can work back to today and start implementing different things that will help you get to that goal. Sorry, I just want to take a quick sip of water. Okay. Another thing about goals is we often focus on the outcome, which is good. So on 3 levels. Asking yourself, what is it that I really want? So if it's that business, what do you really want? Maybe you realize, no, it's the freedom. It's the freedom that I want, or it's the status, or it's the influence that I want. So really digging deep in terms of what's the ultimate outcome that I want when I achieve this goal. Also, you can ask yourself, if I don't achieve this goal, what is the pain I will experience of not achieving this goal? So if it's still being stuck in the career path, working for someone else instead of having your own business, imagine what that will feel like. And use that as a motivation to push you forward, to help you get and keep moving. The other side is also true. What is the pleasure or joy that you will gain from achieving this goal? Being able to get there, really visualizing and seeing that result. And if you're able to ask yourself, why do I want this goal? This will force, for example, if you think about the business and you say, why do I want this goal? And you can say things like, this will force me to grow. This will challenge me. It'll make the world a bit better. And I can be a trailblazer for other people who want to do the same thing. People that are in the same position as me, maybe my friends and family, also work or have career paths that they're not really happy and content with and want to start their own thing. So those are kind of the things you can start thinking about. And if you're listening to this, I want you to really write the goals down. I will encourage you to write them down in the positive language, as I mentioned, and just get them down on paper. It doesn't matter how it feels or or how hesitant you might be in writing them down, or how lame that may sound. I don't know. Maybe that sounds like, what difference will that make? I have them in my head. Write them down, and write as many as you want, as many as come to that'll come to your mind. Just write them down one by one on a piece of paper, or more preferably in a journal, in a book that you can revisit and work on. And when you have that written down, just sit back and allow yourself to feel what that feels like, what it feels like to have that clarity on your goals. Because that is what you will use to move yourself forward. So, when people struggle with motivation, when you and me struggle with motivation, there's only one reason. We don't have a goal that's inspiring. That's it. If you're not motivated to do something, there's not a goal that inspires you. You can think about anything in your life. If you are not motivated, you don't have a goal that's inspiring. So setting goals gets you that inspiration that you need to be motivated, especially when it's about doing hard things, executing on hard things. So when we do the hard work, because we're motivated, because we are inspired by our goals, when we do that hard work, the things that are hard become easy. They are no longer as hard. And the fact that they are hard doesn't matter anymore, because we've stepped up to that challenge. So completing an Ironman, that's insanely hard. But if you put in the hard work, it's not that hard anymore. I don't want to say it becomes easy, but it definitely is easy for someone that's trained to be able to do that versus someone that's not. So for me, that's a major difference. Okay, I hope this makes sense and helps you. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding this or comments. And share your goals with me. You can email me at francois@vierdoring.co.za. Vierdoring is VUURDORING.co.za. Or look me up on Facebook, or you can comment on YouTube if you want. Let me know what your goals are and maybe some of the tricks you've learned to help you move closer to your goals. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll chat to you soon.